the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
You disgust me.
Who gives a shit?
Go on.
I made it the fuck up. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. It's glorious! And I run.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is your t-shirted historian, and welcome to Tuesday with Geeks.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, Caster?
I am doing pretty good. Just about a week here before I go off on my little vacation, but, it's Tuesday. We're kind of getting into the middle of the week, and I don't know about you, but I feel good.
I feel pretty good, too. And a special announcement to all you Week in Geek fans out there. Because it is spooky season, as I have done in the past, all these years, I have once again asked the spookiest man, Mark Reinhagen, to join us this Saturday. So, you want to meet the legendary creator of Vampire the Masquerade, the OG Vampire the Masquerade?
Ooh.
That's right. That's right. We'll have Mark Reinhagen on Saturday. And apparently he set 2 alarm clocks for it, and he's got the day off. So I'm assured that he will be here this time.
He set 2 redundancies, but did he set 3?
And if he misses it this time, we'll declare a blood hunt on him.
Well, he's got Jason to keep an eye on him. So hopefully, if the alarms don't work, then Jason can pull him in somehow.
Poke him with a stick or something.
Yeah, but he likes our show. So I don't know why he would miss it. It'll be good to catch up with him. Will you be with us, Caster?
As it stands, I believe I should be. So I'll finally be able to meet him for once.
Yeah. Yes, I was opening a wrapper. It's very good of you to notice because I have some show and tell, and I just got this delivered straight from Amazon
Prime.
Yes, just in time for spooky season.
So I see you got more Critical Role fan art?
Where?
No, that's what you ordered.
No. This is what I ordered. The Call of Cthulhu by Go Tanabe.
Is it hiding your Critical Role merchandise you just bought?
I don't have any Critical Role merchandise, sir.
T-shirt, you're the biggest Critical Role fan I know.
Did you just replace the cover of your Critical Role merchandise with this cover?
Yes,
no,
that's what
absolutely I did not. In fact, I will show you the inside just to prove it.
Oh.
Neat.
Yep. So
it's a Critical Role Halloween edition.
Yep.
Look at that.
Oh, pretty.
This is awesome. Go Tanabe has done At the Mountains of Madness, which was absolutely spectacular. It's one of my favorite adaptations I've ever seen. He also did The Shadow over Innsmouth, and he's done a little selection of stories like The Hound and some other stuff. And he's finally taken on the big green dude himself in this one.
He's answered the call.
And it is the full story, and it's been translated into English from Japanese. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at this art, man.
It is. Chef kiss.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to give away the whole thing, but
I really like the way he was shadowing in the details of the faces.
yeah, he is. He's just a master at this his craft. It's just he manages to do things like he can illustrate all of the Cthulhu stuff, and he manages to keep it grim and violent and horrific, but without being explicit like you might expect a typical mangaka to be.
Yeah, and that's a lot harder than people realize to ride that line.
Mm-hmm. He does it.
Which sort of brings up that interesting idea of the extra difficulty it takes to put in the extra effort with solely black and white to get that extra layering of depth and shading in, where you don't have the color to necessarily rely on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a lot of Western comics, I feel like are like the coloring is doing 80% of the work on a lot of the art there, whereas manga, they don't have that luxury, so they actually got to be good at what they're doing.
Oh yeah. Well, this guy's definitely a master at his craft, and like I said, I just got this. I have not read it, but just from looking at it already, I'm impressed with it. I mean, everything else that he's done has been absolutely gorgeous and absolutely worth it. So I'm going to recommend this one as well, just kind of without, having not really seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks to our buddies at Dark Horse. I love the Dark Horse comic book company more than any other one at this time, I think. They brought over the Berserk manga. They're bringing over Tanabe's stuff. They're bringing over quite a bit of manga, and it's doing great. But even before that, Dark Horse was a good company. They did all the Terminator and RoboCop and Predator and Alien franchise stuff.
And not to mention all their Star Wars output.
Dark Horse?
Yeah, they had the Star Wars license up until Disney took over.
Are you
serious? They had it all throughout the 90s.
Wow. See, I never read any of their Star Wars stuff, but I read all their other stuff.
There's like almost 30 years worth of Star Wars comics that you just found out about.
Wow. Well, I learned something new.
Yeah, like for example, one of the last things they did right before they lost the license is they did a series called The Star Wars, which is based off of George's original version of the script. The one where like Han Solo was a green-skinned alien.
Huh.
Kind of like that kind of stuff. But they have comics going back like to the early 90s, and a lot of them are very, very good.
I imagine
Dark Horse
so.
was the king there. Like for a number of years, Star Wars basically kept the Dark Horse like engine going. That was like their A-list property.
Yeah.
And here I always thought it was like Aliens and Predator and all that stuff.
Oh, that helped. That helped.
Yeah, those are certainly a feather in their cap, but you got to remember, this was the 90s with Star Wars. Like, nothing printed money then like Star Wars.
True.
I mean, except maybe
back
Pokemon.
when it was still good. Yeah.
I think they also did Hellboy, too, at least some of the earlier ones.
Yes, they did. They do Hellboy as well. And as a matter of fact, they also... back in the day, they tried to start their own, Dark Horse line of comics with stuff like Barbed Wire and X and stuff like that. And I used to collect a lot of that, and I really enjoyed those stories, and I wish they had been able to go farther with them.
Yeah, but I actually do encourage you to like go and look up some of the Star Wars comics because they're really good.
Well, I'll check and see. Maybe they have back issues. There's so much stuff that Dark Horse has printed that I am in need of getting, because I mean, it's like I've finished up Berserk, at least until they produce another deluxe edition. So what I need to catch up on now is Blade of the Immortal, because
good one.
I read the hell out of that back when it was coming out in the small manga form.
Mm-hmm.
And I eventually lost track of being able to get it, and time went by, and now it's finished its run, and it's all in deluxe editions. And so all I got to do is buy up all those deluxe editions, and I can read the entire story now. So,
did Dark Horse do Y the Last Man? Did they publish that?
I'm not sure.
Image.
I think it was Image, yeah.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Yeah.
The other thing that Dark Horse did is they did Hellsing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's another one I need to catch up on because that's in deluxe edition.
Another thing that I appreciate them for is they're the ones who brought over the Hyrule Historia book, because that they weren't sure if that was actually going to get translated for a couple of years, and it actually got partially translated by someone named Glitterberry, and so when they brought it over, they actually collabed with Glitterberry to translate it, and they brought it over. I actually have it, and thank you, Dark Horse, for that.
Well,
Wow.
that's sort of one of the nice things that Dark Horse would do, is that they were willing to take a risk on some of those things. Like, for example, there was a lot of notable manga out of the 90s that I believe Dark Horse went and took a chance on and helped bring over.
Yes. Well, like I said, Blade of the Immortal was one of them. Hellsing was one of them. Certainly whenever they got Berserk, that was not a small thing. But I've always liked Dark Horse because, it's an indie comic books publishing company, but they have very good production values on all their stuff. And I don't know why, but I kind of feel like the people who do Dark Horse read the comic books that they print. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like it's a company that's actually run by people who enjoy comics. Not like, some other comic book companies where it's just a commercial with characters and, you're fed a character and you're supposed to make stories with it.
Oh, I'm gonna do a book about TMNT. I've never read TMNT, so let's that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just going to inject all my politics and my racial stuff and some modern day garbage and maybe some food references. Yeah.
See, that's the thing that, like, whenever I hear, like, oh, I'm spearheading an adaptation, I've never read the books, I've never played the games. In fact, I refuse to read the books. Like, you don't have to be a fan of it, but at least understand it.
Yeah, that's usually my thing too.
Like, no, it's more important that I give my take on the characters rather than being, tied down to what came before. We were burdened by what has been.
They have to. I want to put my own stamp on it.
And speaking of putting your own stamp on things, I heard that the Netflix version of Tomb Raider came out, and Lara Croft is not only part of the itty bitty titty committee, but also that she's like loaded down with sweat stains and emotional baggage.
And she's a lesbian.
Yeah, and she's a lesbian, and she doesn't use guns; she uses a bow. So yeah.
Well, yeah, that's more of a carryover from the Survivor trilogy, but yeah. But even the Survivor games use a lot of guns.
Well, the thing is, it's been part of the larger push that's happened over the last decade with a lot of these properties. For example, they've been pushing a lot of anti-gun messaging. So that's why you have so many prominent, especially female characters who all use bows because guns are bad. So we're going to use something that we see as not a gun, but can still be as effective, even though it frankly makes no sense.
Actually, maybe these people don't realize, but a bow will kill you probably more dead than a gun, especially at shorter ranges because of the shock that it imparts.
Well, the thing is, you gotta realize, like, they're not thinking it through. They're just thinking gun is bad. That has become the boogeyman.
Oh.
Well, the other thing about guns versus bows is guns travel at such high velocity, they just go in and out in like a split second. Bows, depending on what they are, they stick around if they're barbed. They can actually, like, arrows can do more damage than a bow, depending on
a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those broadheads and some of those other serrated tips and stuff like that on some of those arrowheads, those will mess you up so much worse. And the worst thing about those bows is if you get like a serrated triple head and you get shot with one of those things, it creates a triangular wound, a triangular channel, and those don't close up.
Yeah,
So-
and the other thing is you can't just pull it out. You'll make the wound worse. You actually have to push it through.
Mhm.
That's like the best way to do it. And
Well-
the other thing is like a tip of an arrow is actually like equivalent to a rifle round in terms of size.
Yeah, especially with at closer distances because it hits harder.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just like I said, like a triangular blade wound does not close up. So that's pretty much what you get hit with one of those things. It's like, you're gonna bleed out.
Mm-hmm.
There's no stopping this. But I digress. I mean, you can talk that stuff over with these people all you want to, and they'll never understand it. They also have a whole cast of characters in that show that are not only gay, but and I mean literally gay, not a pejorative, but they are literally gay people, and they are extremely annoying because they're just there to reinforce whatever her problems and drama are, of which apparently she has a ton because I think at the start of the show she gives away all of her dad's artifacts and stuff, and this is supposed to be set before the Tomb Raider games. So
The games.
So I don't know what happens between the time of this anime and the start of the games where she actually has all those artifacts and stuff in her mansion.
Well, my question is, which games? Are we talking about the PlayStation ones, the PS2, the Survivor trilogy? There's kind of dealing with a couple different timelines here.
So it was, I believe, around the 2007 era. I think Tomb Raider Legends was sort of the last game of quote-unquote that continuity, and ever since then they've sort of stuck with this original thing, and ever since that PlayStation 3, the Rise of the Tomb Raider, that's basically been it's all its own continuity. So they've basically just been doing nothing but self-sabotaging what was once upon a time the first lady of video games. Like she was the apex of female characters in video games, arguably at one point as almost more iconic than Mario.
I agree, because she was more well known and she was more well received by a lot of pubescent boys like myself.
I mean, if you want to talk about the 90s, yeah, she was right up there with Mario and Sonic. I still like the Angelina Jolie movie. It actually, I think, holds up to this day.
They weren't bad. I mean, yeah. Not to mention, I think Angelina Jolie actually got surgery to get those puppies enlarged just to play the role.
I mean, she has a tattoo of her that says Lady Croft. I don't know. I just think like that era of Angelina Jolie was perfect for that version of Lara Croft.
And hey, Bleeker, it's good to see you. The movie we need to talk about, Kevin, was about a school archer. Really? That's one I'll have to check out. Yep. Speaking of movies, what do we have for movies this week? Does anybody even care about movies anymore? Does anybody even watch them?
I mean,
the only thing that's
Wolverine.
Well, the only thing that's really happened is Joker 2 had a 81% drop off. Like it is going to go down as one of. Oh, it's bad.
I cannot believe that.
I can.
Yeah, everything I've heard about Joker 2 is awful. Like, basically, the director took every single thing that you loved about the first Joker and just basically, literally, aped it in the shower with prison guards.
Yeah, the thing is, this was, in hindsight, it seems like it's such an obvious failure. They did so much to go against, what the core audience of that original movie wanted in a film. Mm-hmm. And so really, it's egg on their face. This was a corporate mandated film. This was a film the studio wanted, and they got what they paid for in the end. This wasn't made because the audience wanted a sequel. This was made because Warner Brothers realized, oh no, we basically handed away all the profits of this first movie that made $1 billion without China, and now we have egg on our face over this. So now we want to get a piece of that pie.
Yeah, unfortunately, they trusted it to the same director who apparently does not like superhero movies because he considers them to be low class or whatever, and B, he completely decided to sabotage his first film by completely undoing everything in it and making it a musical on top of that.
Well, the thing is, you got to remember, Todd Howard is
Phillips.
actually
Todd Phillips.
Yep,
Phillips.
Todd Phillips. Yep, Todd Phillips is a fairly successful director when it comes to Warner Brothers because he did the Hangover trilogy. He's someone who historically they've been able to trust.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wonder how they feel about him now that he pretty much just boned them right there to their face.
Oh, he knew what he was doing. He burned down the studio and then burned down the bridge, giving the finger as he drove across it.
Yeah, I seriously see that as the case because I don't think he really wanted to do the first Joker movie, but he did it, and unfortunately, he did such a great job on it that everybody loved it, but apparently they came away with the wrong message, and he didn't like that. So
let's not pretend the first film is some cinematic masterpiece. It's basically a rip off of Taxi Driver.
I mean, it had its moments, but I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, it had its moments.
I'm not saying you can't enjoy it, but people saying like, "Oh, this is calling it a cinematic masterpiece." It's not original by any means.
Well, there's a lot of films that aren't original, but you can still watch and enjoy them for what they are.
Oh, that's totally fair. Totally fair.
But
Deadpool and Wolverine are not original by any means, and I still enjoyed them. So
yeah, I mean, that's one of those, turn off your brain, enjoy the film, and just,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Which I haven't seen that yet, and I still need to, and I feel bad about that. But yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. The story is basic. It's carried by Deadpool and Wolverine. The characters interacting. Hugh Jackman gives an amazing performance. It's got cameos, and it's nice to see the cameos and make some good jokes. But you're there for the characters. You're there for the actors. The story is just okay. It's just an excuse to move the characters around, essentially.
Yeah, I kind of figured that much. I mean, it's pretty much just Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, having a good time with Hugh Jackman. So
and Hugh Jackman reacting to it, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's Deadpool is just a license to print money. So they did.
And honestly, that combination, it works. Like Hugh Jackman being the straight man to Ryan's Deadpool is just comedy gold.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. I've actually heard some people, detract on it, which I understand their point of view too. But it's. I mean, when you think about it, if you look at all the other Marvel, cinematic universe films that have come out in the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years? I mean, I'm talking like everything that came out after Infinity War and Endgame.
The thing is, that movie was able to get away with things that none of the other films would have been able to. Like,
yeah.
You look at the way they treated, for example, Johnny Storm, and it's like in any other context, like that would be a despised movie, but because it's Deadpool, they're allowed to get away with it and just kind of poo on these characters.
Yeah.
Apparently, it could have been even worse. There's reports that the studios tried to shove in She-Hulk into the movie, and Ryan Reynolds told them to F off.
Yeah, I heard about that too. They kept trying to shoehorn their own characters in there that nobody liked, and Reynolds was savvy enough to go, no. So, yeah. But he was smart enough to shoehorn in characters that everybody did like. Like, he brought back Blade, which everybody loved that, of course.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and it had the best joke in the movie. It's only been one Blade. It's only ever going to be one Blade. And then the next shot is Deadpool looking at the camera and just smirking.
Yep. Well, I mean, I gotta give it to Wesley, man. I mean, he pioneered that role. He made that role. Nobody else has really been able to do it the way he did it. So.
I mean, the thing I love most about the film is it serves as a farewell to the Fox universe, and as a farewell, it's actually a very good farewell, because the post-credit scene is they show clips of behind the scenes from all the films to Green Day's "Time of Your Life." I think it's a very, very touching tribute farewell to the Fox universe. I think it's very well done.
But I had a bit of a problem with that though, because it really comes across as Disney trying to do a victory lap over movies that they had no part in.
Yes.
None.
That they sort of backflipped into and said, "Oh, we have these movies we can pull from. Let's go for the emotional manipulation over movies that we would have never made."
Mm-hmm.
But they bought them. Doesn't that mean I'm being joke facetious there? But yeah,
they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they did.
Yeah. And then currently, right now, if you really want to enjoy some Marvel cinematic masterpiece, you can enjoy Agatha all along.
And the other thing is,
What?
They're doing the same thing with the Netflix stuff. Like, Daredevil was apparently a crap show before Kevin Feige had a chance to look at it, and now they're acting like the Netflix stuff was part of the Disney all along. When for the longest time they were actively trying to move away from it.
Whoa, what?
The Netflix Marvel stuff, because it was made under Perlmutter.
Daredevil was good even before.
I agree. What I'm saying with Disney was trying to distance themselves from it, because remember, like for the longest time, even though Daredevil's back, it's like they're like, he actually might be a variant. So like the Netflix stuff wasn't actually canon up until a few years ago.
Yeah, I heard about all that. Even though they were screaming about wanting to get John Bernthal back as the Punisher, so
that's a monkey's paw. Apparently, he's back, but he's going to be going after the cops who use his logo. So it's very much a monkey paw moment.
We'll see how that plays out. I don't think that's going to play out very well. Because, law enforcement ain't going to like it, and neither are all the Punisher fans who are going to be like, this is dumb.
Let's be fair, Marvel doesn't give jack crap about Punisher fans.
No,
True.
they don't, which is
They
kind of
actively
stupid.
despise them.
Yeah, they actively despise us, because I'm a Punisher fan. But they actively despise us because we love something, and even though they created it, they just did their best to destroy it as much as possible, and okay, well, if you didn't want us to watch it and enjoy it anymore, then I guess you succeeded. So there you go. Good job, Marvel. Just, carry on. Let's have some more Snowflake and stay space. See how that works out for you.
I wonder if they put Frank Castle back in the Punisher suit in the comics, because that was a thing they did for a minute where they took the character away and had him replaced.
Yeah, with the Shield guy.
Yeah, and then they try to make his wife like something important as well, and it just it's one where they had to keep going and convoluting things, like when they try to make him like an agent of God,
or they try to make him a ninja, like they changed the skull design and tried to make him like a ninja or some crap.
Yeah, to make him get rid of the guns.
Or when they made him Frankenstein.
The Frankenstein one, Franken Punisher, was pretty good. It was short.
Remember the comic where they put him through a struggle session?
You talking about the one where they pretty much ended the character?
Yeah, but they just tortured him and insulted him the entire issue.
No, I didn't read that comic book because, frankly, I was, done with Punisher at that point because they had already ruined the character with changing out the skull, getting rid of the guns, and all the other garbage. At that point, it was pretty much done. The last Punisher stuff I read was in Savage Avengers, where he hangs out with Conan for an all too brief time, because a team up between those two should have been epic, and it should have gone on for quite a few issues, but I don't know. I kind of thought it was poignant, though, because at the end, Conan and Frank Castle are dragging Frank's dead family in their coffins all the way back through the Arctic. And I think Frank says something to Conan like thanks for for helping me, carry my dead or thanks for helping me go, carry my dead family back home. And Conan kind of looks at him and he just kind of says, "You've been carrying them a lot longer than that." Like Conan knew. But anyway, yeah, Bleecker, I remember. Yeah, they included Daredevil and She-Hulk, and yeah, they totally ruined him. Oh,
yeah.
Is Remizzle okay?
I did see the trailer for the new Daredevil season, and it does look good. I am kind of interested.
Yeah, Bleecker, there was a Punisher Conan crossover. If you go back and you read Savage Avengers, that's all Conan in the Marvel Universe. So it's Conan hanging out with Wolverine, it's Conan hanging out with Punisher, it's Conan hanging out with Doctor Doom and all this other stuff. I really liked Savage Avengers. But
also it's a Conan that has a lot of the strings and stipulations about how his character is allowed to be portrayed. So there is an element of protection over and around how Conan is allowed to be. So from everything I've heard, it is a more modern comic series that's might be worth your time.
Yeah, it is good because right now Conan Properties is run by Frederick Malmberg, who is originally from Sweden, but he's living in California now. Really cool guy. I talk to him on Twitter every once in a while. And, of course, he's friends with Andre from Midnight's Edge. And, yeah, Frederick is very protective of Conan. He would not allow Marvel to change up Conan. He said, Conan has to stay Conan. You can't suddenly make him, decide to embrace all these modern ideals that, you guys are so interested in pushing and all this other stuff. He's still going to be Conan. He's still going to be a womanizer. He's still going to kill people. He's going to be Conan. And they succeeded, and they made it work. Jim Zub did a great job with the Conan in the Marvel comic books, and I'm glad that he's continuing to do it in the current run of Conan, which is not in Marvel. It's in Titan Comics. So it's a good thing. Can't say enough good stuff about all that. I mean, you got a Conan that's worth reading again, and I'm glad.
Yeah, because so many creatives are just itching to get their hands on their character and just ruin them.
Yeah, well, they'll never be able to as long as Frederick Malmberg has him, and hopefully whoever.
Oh, I was just say, luckily at the moment we have the current comics from was it Titan or
yes, Titan.
Yep, Titan, which are excellent.
Yeah, and the Cimmerian, which is from France. I forget the name of the comics that do those, but those are good too. I need to catch up on all that.
Apparently, this is what doomed the Amazon Conan series. Like, it was going full steam ahead. It was looking pretty good, but then they changed. The Amazon studios had changed, and they wanted to modern audience it up, and that's when it collapsed.
Well, no, what they said was that, he was too toxic, and they couldn't work with it, the IP. Probably because Malmberg put his foot down and said, no, you can't make these changes. This is Conan. If you change him up, it's not Conan anymore.
And then we got Wheel of Time.
Oh God! As a Wheel of Time fan, just every time someone mentions that TV show, I get a mini heart attack because I watched the first episode.
Hey, third season's coming out. And of course,
I will say this: if you do want to kill me, subscribe to my Patreon. Once I get to 5, I'm going to do the second episode, and 10, I'm going to do the full first season.
Oh boy. Well, there's also Rings of Power, which we know the second season flopped pretty hard. Which is pretty sad. I mean, all these people were screaming and clamoring over Rings of Power, and it's kind of like, well, where was all that viewership for second season? Because even I didn't want to watch it, because the first season was so bad.
I mean, it's trash in every sense of the word. Like, it has the modern audiences crap. Plus, it just looks terrible. It's supposedly $2 billion, but it does not show up on screen. Like, you've seen all the memes of, like, comparing it to the movies, where they had, like, a tenth of the budget, and the armor looks so much better.
Yeah, I pointed that out previously, not to mention the fact that, for trying to distance themselves from the Peter Jackson films, they're also member-burying the crap out of those films as hard as they possibly can by stealing lines from it and the original books and everything else, and just messing up the timeline and including things that never happened, never could have happened. Yeah, it's just, they're just ruining Tolkien's work. I don't know. It's just sad. And What can you do about it, though? I mean, you just go on. You know, like I said before, it's a done deal. You know, just move on past it. There's other things out there to watch. I mean, you know, Tulsa King got a second season, and I'm enjoying it.
That's good.
Yeah. Gangs of London has got a third season, or got a third or fourth season coming out, and I'm looking forward to that when it comes out. The final chapter of Yellowstone is going to be coming out, and their spin-off show is going to be coming out. That's going to be worth watching, I'm sure. So there's plenty of good television to watch.
The 4-6 spin-off is ever going to come out.
That's the one I'm talking about.
But then we also did get a little bit of bad news.
Uh-oh.
So, for my One Piece fans, apparently we will be waiting for about the next 4 months or so until April for the series to resume with new episodes.
We talking about the live action, or?
Oh, no, like the anime.
Oh.
In the meantime,
there's plenty of time to catch up on it.
Yeah, I'm on like 360 right now, so I've got about 750 episodes to go.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sure you'll be totally caught up by then.
Maybe if you watch it like 24/7.
But on the plus side, we also did get Dragon Ball Daima this week.
I hadn't heard about that. I know their new video game is selling quite well.
Oh, it's selling like gangbusters. Unfortunately, it didn't prevent the layoffs at Namco Bandai.
Yeah, which is unusual but sad. And then speaking of that, by the way, a topic of a lot of controversy here lately has been Silent Hill 2, the remake. Okay, I can tell you firsthand from playing it that it's actually pretty good. I'm serious. I mean, yes, the voice acting kind of ranges up and down in quality. They have changed a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the fight mechanics, because you now have a dodge button for one thing, and boy, howdy, you better learn how to use it, because the monsters in this are a lot more aggressive, and there are more of them, even on lowest difficulties. There are plenty of monsters that will come jump out at you and catch you by surprise. There are brand new puzzles, there's brand new sections, there's larger parts of the town. Overall, it is a good experience, but honestly, I kind of think that, well, I like both, but I like what this remake has done as far as how it made most everything look. Most of the characters look pretty sharp. I've got a little bit of gameplay footage if you guys want to see it. Just a little bitty short one.
Right. Sure, we'll be brief.
This is the opening. This is captured straight off my PC with my crappy old video card. This is not.
This looks really good.
This is how good it looks. And I'm running an older machine with 16 gig of RAM.
What's your video card?
It's a 2870, I think.
Oh, sorry. I'm only familiar with an NVIDIA tier, so.
It is an NVIDIA.
Oh, it's a 2080.
Silent
Okay.
Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You promised you'd
Not
take
bad.
me there again someday.
It's PS4 quality.
Yeah.
I'd say PS4 Pro, but
I'm
yeah.
alone there now,
Same platform.
in our special place,
Yeah, pretty much.
waiting for you.
A lot of the transitions between rooms and everything else is pretty seamless as well. So I was running it off of a hard drive, not even an SDD or an SSD, and it still managed to work.
The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name.
Yeah, the thing about modern games, they all look very similar to me.
Couldn't possibly.
Like I can't tell a PS4 game from a PS5 game.
That's what I keep telling myself. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago.
And this is not just a cinema. This is, if I pick up the game,
Our special place.
it's gonna look this good.
What could she
It's an in-game cinematic.
Yeah, it's an in-game cinematic. It's not a pre-rendered cinematic. like the old games.
Mm-hmm.
So it really does look this good all the time.
Yeah.
Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
The only thing I miss is all the patches on James's jacket. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. It seems like you get a lot less weapons to start with, but New Game Plus gives you a kind of a little bit of a larger weapon supply. It does transition between guns and weapons pretty quickly with just one button press. It also has healing on the main screen, so you don't have to worry about, pausing and going into your inventory and then hitting, your healing items. So you can actually sit there and, drink your healing potion and stuff right there in combat. Of course, now the enemy is still going to be coming at you, so we gotta manage that a little bit more carefully. But overall,
roll drink.
Yeah, but overall, they did a really good job with it. They added 2 extra endings, which were pretty good. Just everything looks a lot better and a lot more seamless.
I love the dog ending.
Yeah, the dog ending is in this one, and it looks better than it used to, even.
Yeah, I saw a thing of it. It was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't really have any complaints about it. Now, as to what they did with the girls, okay. Angela, originally, she looked pretty tubby and everything in all the original stuff that we saw. The in-game model, she looks fine. She looks svelte. Her face does look a little bit chubby, but it's, just in the face. But otherwise, she looks pretty normal. And your other character, I can't remember, Maria, the love interest, so to speak. She looks better, but I don't totally like the way her face looks, but I mean, that's just my personal hang up. Now, as far as her outfit goes, they went with a less revealing outfit. They covered her up more, which,
My thing
So
is,
she got-
they do that. They do this really stupid thing that a lot of modern games do. It's like, hey, should I wear this? And they hold up like the original outfit, like Suicide Squad did it, and they're like, no, this is bad. We're not going to wear that. Like it's kind of like a middle finger to the fans, and I think that's kind of unnecessary.
it was a little bit when I saw that happen in the game. The old outfit, of course, is modeled after an old Christina Aguilera outfit that she wore. So it was supposed to give you that. But
yeah, it's like you want to change the outfit, cover up more. Like that's one thing, but actively insult, like going out of your way, spending tens of thousands of dollars just to own the chuds, so to speak, is just kind of unnecessary, in my opinion.
It's a Polish studio. I don't necessarily think they did it out of spite for the fandom. I don't know what their decision making process for covering her up as much as they did was, but I'm like, okay, well, whatever.
It's modern sensibilities at play.
I guess.
Yeah,
it's just
I'm sure
that
some studio up high said, okay, you got to do this, this, and this.
Well, the thing is, Maria is supposed to be enticing to James. She's supposed to be basically, the lust interest, the woman who could replace his Mary. And there's an ending where you go with Maria instead. And
well, I mean, don't forget the fact that we also have the issue of like the ESRB ratings board. That's going to basically say, hey, you're going to get, certain ratings if you don't cover up more. Basically, that's sort of a captured gate that is an issue that needs to be addressed.
But that's only if you're
at some
going
point.
for a T rating. That's only if you're going for a T rating. A game like Silent Hill is going to be rated M. Though I think it's more international markets they got to worry about.
Well, maybe, but I mean, here's the thing. It's like, okay, I'm not proposing necessarily that Maria be running around in a thong, But you know, the first outfit that she had, I mean, like the most egregious thing that she did was show maybe a little bit more leg, and she showed her belly because of her, you know, the way that her outfit was cut. But they don't give you that in this new one. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I can deal with it either way. But I mean, you know, that kind of pales in comparison to the fact that, you know, all of your creatures are pretty sexualized anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like the nurses are hot, the mannequins are kind of hot, you know, even the lying figures are vaguely hot because they have that high-heeled look. So here's where I really have a bone of contention on this. There are certain scenes that are in the game that are pretty well known to fans of the original game, such as the infamous scene where you have to hide in the closet while Pyramid Head is simulating some stuff with a couple of the mannequins while he's killing them. They chose to do a super duper close up of Pyramid Head on that one, so you can't really see quite what's going on.
Okay.
There is the scene where Maria is executed by two Pyramid Heads with the great spears. That is not shown. I mean, you see a close up of her face, and you get the impact, but you don't actually see anything happen. It's like the old game was not afraid to throw punches, and this one apparently it's like they decide to cover up all the graphic violence and all the possible touchy stuff by sticking the camera up as close to the subject as possible to obscure it.
Yeah, and
You know
that's
what
the
I'm saying?
problem I have with this era of gaming, especially with like the Ratchet remakes, is they sanitize it, but they always sanitize it in like this weird way. Like some stuff gets censored, some stuff doesn't, but it's always on a certain political line. It's never like there's never logic behind it. It's more just a political logic, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, but anyway, I will say that Silent Hill 2 is probably worth your time. I would kind of wait for a sale if you have already played the original one and you already know what it's about and what it's like. It will still surprise you, and there will still be things that you will enjoy in this one. So honestly, I can recommend it. Just, you know.
What if you've never played any of them?
Then you're going to be just fine with this. If this is your only way to play it, then it's your only way to play it. Enjoy it. That's all I could say.
And if that's not the case?
What do you mean?
Well, I hear Tortuga is lovely this time of year.
Oh, well, you know, you sail the seas of Tortuga at your own peril, my friend. I can neither advise you to sail the seas of Tortuga or to avoid them.
I mean, you could always make a deal with the Romulans.
Yeah, well, like I said, for me, I went ahead and I bought my copy. I went ahead and supported it. I heard that their numbers are not doing so great because everybody's afraid of DEI and woke and everything else. I didn't see that so much in the game that it affected my enjoyment of the game. So there you go.
Gotta go soon.
Yeah, I understand. All right, so anyway, I do have some other stuff to talk about, but we gotta get Nick on his way because he's got stuff that he's got to do.
Yeah, I got talking about sailing the seas. I got another podcast that's calling my name. So,
oh wow, we're not your first stop tonight, huh?
well, you are my first port of call.
So okay, you've got Screecher number 3, A Talon Too Far.
Yes, sir.
So you got your third book, and it's already hit its goal. So,
yep, we're heading towards the stretch goal now, which is a print of the issue 4 cover. which is done by the Don Draws stuff, so that's pretty sweet.
And the covers look pretty sweet. I'll show those off here in a minute. But
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you kindly. Yeah, we launched this a little over a week ago when we already got funded, so I'm just like flabbergasted that people got me here so far.
yeah, this cover looks great, and we know what that's an homage to right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you get stickers and trading cards, and yeah, we had an indie publisher on Saturday as well, about to launch their first new comic as well. So maybe you guys can talk about doing a crossover. Just go back and check out my Saturday show and see if you like them.
Always open to proposals.
Yeah, well, that's how they got their start. Is they basically decided to do an anthology series with a bunch of other artists and crossover stuff, and make an anthology hero book. So there's no reason you couldn't have Screecher show up in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, maybe it would be a bonus item. I don't know. Were you going to say, Ironcaster?
Oh, just one stretch goal, one little goodie to throw in that I've become a big fan of as of late, and just to propose the idea to you, poker chips.
Yeah, poker chips is a cool idea.
Yep, I've got about a stack, about 5 or 6 of these from various comic campaigns or the TTRPG games. And they've become one of my favorite little fidget toys to kind of play with, and plus you always have some fun little piece of art on them, so they become sort of a conversation piece you can keep about, or perhaps even mix into an existing set.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to look into that.
Here we have our trailer.
Is Avery Fletcher. And my mission has become me. For too long, my father has sat in prison, a victim of his former employer, Eden Pharmaceuticals. Their leader, Kathleen Johnson, the tip of the spear. And my work to change that continues. Not as the dutiful daughter, but as the winged avenger, Screecher. I have invaded their home, looted their caches, and now I have come close to their source. But like Icarus before me, have I flown too close to the sun? Only time shall tell.
So there we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for sending that up to me. So hopefully people are catching this on the replay, and they will check it out and back it, and go ahead and put the Kickstarter details up here in the chat for people.
Mm-hmm.
Put them up on screen. So yeah, go check out Nick's other projects, Ronin books and his Screecher books, and back an indie comic book producer, because we like indies. Indies is good stuff. All the best stuff is coming out from the indies.
I don't know if you saw it, T-shirt, but I did launch my Kickstarter novel a few months ago, and that got successful. So I'm working on that one. I managed to rewrite the first chapter. I'm kind of taking a few weeks break for Screecher, but then I'm going to get back on that grind.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're actually able to make a living at it now, man. It's pretty good.
Well, it's getting there for sure. I'm definitely, the numbers are growing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything in time, right?
Exactly.
And that's ultimately what we want to see. We want to see every project you just do that little bit better. Do that little bit better. It's a perpetual machine we're just feeding into and keeping building.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Agreed.
All right.
Well,
you got to take off, my man?
Yep. Thank you guys for having me, and I hope you guys have a good show.
All right. You take care, Nick. Thanks for being here.
Yep, bye.
Safe travels.
And before we end tonight, I've got one more thing to talk about, and that is something I was surprised about, and I actually threw it at Ironcaster, and he was kind of like surprised at it too. But let me see if see if I could share this.
Is this the thing I think it is?
I don't know. What do you think it is?
I think it's a part of a larger leak.
Oh, no, it's not that. I do kind of want that, but let me see.
Turns out the Pokemon Company was writing things that the fans were doing as well. We're not so different, you and I.
Indeed. Well, here we go. This is what I was talking about right here. We have Red Dead Redemption coming October 29th, 2024. So it's unlocking in approximately 13 days. It's $50 here in the United States. And it comes with the old Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare. And I don't know, man. I'm actually kind of excited about it. They redid it in 4K, and it looks great.
Yeah, but that $50 price tag is just too much for me to justify. Like,
I think what you wanted to say is this is a 14-year-old game, and you don't think it's worth it?
Exactly. Like, if we were talking like 30 or 35, I would feel more comfortable with it, but even still, it's $50. It's Rocksteady trying to, get as much cash as they can for what they're basically going to try to push as $100 game with Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty much just a cash grab, but in my case, at least, it's going to be a successful cash grab because I do want to play this. I've been wanting to play this for a very long time. So, yeah, they're going to end up getting my money. Although, maybe I should wait for a sale, but who knows when that'll be.
Well, I would say you probably are better off waiting just because, well, let's be honest. How's your backlog looking?
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. I did find some more other great independent games though, like Thronefall is a surprisingly really good little game. I've gone back to playing Kingdom 2 Crown. I need to play some more Raven's Watch. I did find another bullet hell game called Halls of Torment that is pretty good. And I do have multiple endings to get in Silent Hill 2. I've got 24.2 hours on it already, just getting to the first ending.
Well, in the meantime, you could go ahead and check out that the demo for Goblin Cleanup.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We showed that, didn't we?
As well.
You're cutting out.
Oh, it's currently available on Kickstarter as well.
Oh, nice.
Very
nice.
There's a lot of stuff on Kickstarter right now. Like Conan.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on Kickstarter right now. Oh, yeah, Goblin Cleanup, yeah. And it's already funded. Woo! How much is it? Just scroll down to the price.
Yep, we're looking. Early access, about $20.
That's not bad.
Steam key for $40.
It's a little high, but
hang on, what are we getting? Let's see. Game's funded, pirate themed dungeon, so more levels. Third person view, rune system for your characters that abilities like dash. And they've got a few more dungeons coming.
Keep in mind that even though it funds through Kickstarter, it's not always a success. A game that I was very heavily for, that I pushed on the show before, Mei Fumado, ended up... it was a Kickstarter project, and apparently whoever was behind it absconded with the funds, and so basically they finished the game, but everyone is complaining about the state that it is in, because basically they just ran out of money to work on it. So the game feels unfinished, and that's a pretty sad because Mei Fumato really looked good. And I was even, one of the champions of it here on this show. But, so I don't know. It might be better just to wait.
Well, the thing is, this at least does have a existing demo currently available on Steam.
And it looks kind of like the cleanup detail.
But you're playing as goblins.
Well, I guess I could always check out the demo.
I think it's actually co-op, so maybe this week we'll find a little time to try that out.
Indeed. Well, Saturday, like I said, we're going to have Mark Reinhagen on, so that's our big deal. And maybe we can talk a little bit about your Pokemon findings. But for now, I think our hour is up. So what do you say we go ahead and stop for the evening?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
All right, bud. All right, y'all out there in YouTube land, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. If you're catching us on the replay, hey, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed. Catch us on Saturday when we have Mark Reinhagen, the creator, the original creator of Vampire the Masquerade. And more than likely, we're going to have some special guests to meet Mark, because I've been telling people, I was like, hey, this is your chance to hang out with Mark Reinhagen. Would you like to? So, who knows? I don't know who's going to bite on that one, but we'll see. It could be a nice surprise. We could have a full panel. Who knows? That would be nice. It's been a long time since we had a full panel. But anyway, y'all take care out there, and we will see y'all later.
Bye.